Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Jason Rice, Lot Pop, another Lot Party quick tip. And I want to go over, I'm going to pull up I'm going to Facebook Live. I'm going to pull that up on my other screen. And I want to be able to comment and let people join this meeting. And so I'm going to be doing that for a minute, get some people on board. And this morning I was in a meeting call with a fairly large dealer group, actually a really large successful dealer group. And I don't know, we're helping probably half their stores and wanted just kind of a deeper recap into what they feel like is going on in the market instead of what they get covered on their weekly calls. And I just, doing research, getting ready for the call, I was looking at some of their stores' results, and one of the stores kind of stuck out to me because on the surface, everything looked good, essentially. Meaning on the surface, one of the first things that we look at is and I'm probably going to have to turn off this live, but hey, Caleb, on the surface, things look good. If you look at their turn, at least in Viato, their turn was at 13. Check that box, that looked good. The next thing is that over the last 30 days, they've taken their aged inventory down from 32% in the last 30 days down to 10%. And they've increased their fresh cars. 73% of their inventory is fresh. So their age has gone down. And that's, again, why their turn is at 13, looking a lot better. But the other thing we look at is what percentage of are you selling by age bucket? Again, that's where we push our first 30, is if you get 60 to 70% of your sales in the first 30 days, your grosses will be, you get both gross and volume if you can push 60 to 70% of your sales in the first 30 days. So again, in the last couple weeks, they've taken their fresh sale rate from 49% going out in the first 30 days to now 67% fresh sale rate. So again, on the goal, 60 to 70%, they're doing 67%. They've also been able to cut the percentage of cars that they're selling aged, the cars with no gross, cut it in half. It was at 36%, now it's down to 15%, more than half. So again, 13 turns, age has gone down from 35% down to 10. 73% of their inventory is fresh, and 67% of their sales in the last 2 weeks have gone out on the fresh cars, and they've reduced the age. But here's why it's all, I wanted a deeper dive into their numbers, because when I looked at their 2-week sale rate, how many units, not the percentage, again, a month ago, almost exactly a month ago, they were selling about 88% of their inventory. Okay, we look at a 2-week window and look at what you're selling versus what you're carrying. And in 2 weeks, I want you to sell 50%. You got 100 in stock, I want you to sell 50 in 2 weeks. So they went from a 44% sale rate in 2 weeks, which essentially put them at 88%. They're selling 123 units in 2 weeks with 128 in stock. By the beginning of this month, they were on pace to sell almost, what would that be? 330 cars with 212 in stock. They were selling 79% of their inventory in just 2 weeks. Okay, but since the beginning of June, remember, over the last 30 days, their age is going down, turn is looking good, more carrying more fresh, selling less age. But today, they're only selling 38% over the last 2 weeks of their inventory. So they're on pace to sell 190-ish with 250 in stock. So their volume has dropped off. And they probably know that. They know their sales. So on the surface, their number looks good, but their sales are dropping. You got to know the why. Why is this happening? What's happening in their inventory to cause this? And one of the things we break down a bunch of key metrics. So once I start looking at the numbers, one of the things that was causing this drop off is their pricing. Okay, so their average price to market has increased overall. Okay, so they went from, and again, going from the beginning of the month till now, or even mid-month, 30 days ago, I'm sorry, Before they're priced around 94%, and by the beginning of June, it jumped up to 99%. But remember, the beginning of June, they were selling a lot of cars. And then since the beginning of the June, their sales have dropped and they're priced at 97%. So their pricing went up. And that might not be a bad thing. Again, there's supply and demand dynamics going on. But that's going to be one red flag and go, okay, well, our pricing's up, that slow our sales down. What else could be causing some of this? So the other things that really stood out that caused this is their average investment. Their average investment also has gone up $3,000 over that period of time from the beginning of the month to the end. See, at the beginning, a month ago exactly, they're at 21 grand as their average investment. Right now, it's 24.2. So their average investment in 30 days has gone up $3,100. And since the beginning of the month, it went up $2,000. So let's recap. 30 days ago, they had 35% age. They went down to 10%. Their turns up to 13 turns. They're selling more fresh, less age. Again, on the surface, looks great, but their volume has dropped considerably. Why? Okay, well, my pricing's up. Well, that might not be the directionally the only thing that's caused the problem. Their average investment's gone up 2 or 3 grand. Okay, then the next thing that you notice is that their photo percentage. At the beginning of the month, 90% of their inventory had full sets of photos, full sets of photos, more than 15, okay? And since the beginning of the month, just today, it's down to 75%, 70 and 75%, depending on what lead provider you're looking at. And it got as low as 64%, just June 13th. 5 days ago, it was down to 64%. So think about this. Turned strong. Matter of fact, it went from 9 to 13 in 30 days. Starting to clean up age, 35% down to 10%. They're selling 65%. They went from 49% selling fresh sale rate to 67% fresh sale rate. Minimize the amount of age that they're selling. Looks good. But in the background, our pricing's gone up 3 to 4%. Our average investment's gone up $3,000. Our photo percentage, cars fully photoed ready for sale, is dropped almost 20%. So I asked that dealership, what do you think the next 30 days is going to look like? Right now you look good, but looking at just these metrics alone, not including SRPs and VDPs dropping off since a week ago, not including stocking getting out around. So my point is, you can't just look at certain metrics. His pricing's up, but you know what? He might be able to get away with it. I have stores where their pricing's up right now and they're still selling at a high rate, and they're still selling a ton of fresh. The volume's still there, and they're still keeping their inventory clean as they raise their price, which is fun to watch because we can see that every day we're looking at that number. And as my pricing's gone up, did it affect my sale rate? And if it hasn't, then you're fine. So I don't want to sit there and go, hey guys, you got to drop your prices. Really what they might just need to do is drop their average investment down. They need to get their photos caught up. And maybe if that average investment was maybe if just having the photos caught back up will allow them to have a higher average investment, will allow them to have a higher price. But you can't just look at 1 or 2 metrics and think everything's going good, especially if you just look at your turn. Your turn's based off your average age. They went from 9 turns to 13 turns. Well, all that means is, again, he went from having 32% age down to 10% age. He has more fresh cars. So vAuto's turns based off your average age. So his average age has dropped off. But here's the thing. His average age in stock right now is 27 days, and his average days to sell in the last 2 weeks is now 30. Okay? Average age to sell over the last 2 weeks is 30 days. It takes him 30 days to sell a car, and his current inventory is tapping at 27 days. If he doesn't start making these adjustments and starting to get these cars moving in the next 30 days, he's going to have an age problem that he's going to have to eat out again. And that's where dealers go in and out of the cycle. 30 days ago, a month ago, he was aged. Now he's clean. Grosses should be coming back in 30 days. He's aged again if you don't pay attention to these things. And then he's got to, if he has an aging policy, wants to keep his inventory clean, he's got to whack out of those cars. Grosses go back down. And then all of a sudden you take a deep breath, go, oh, we're clean again. Let's get back to selling cars and making money. But we get sloppy because we're clean. And next thing you know, it goes, and we're not paying attention to all these other metrics that's happening. This is an endless job. You know, as a used car manager, it's pretty good job security, especially nowadays. There's so much you got to be doing and looking into and tracking and trending and managing and monitoring and staying on top of that. And especially now with as fast as this market's moving, you can't look at 30, 45-day metrics. You need to look at weekly, bi-weekly, and daily data and multiple metrics. Understand the why. Why? 30 days from now, if we couldn't point this out to them 30 days from now, they might be in an age issue and they might not understand why. They might have known their average investment's kind of high, and they know they kind of got behind on photos. They know their sales have kind of dropped off. But why? Do they know their pricing's up and everything else and the impact of that? So again, I hope this was helpful. If you want a free inventory evaluation, if you want to take a peek at these metrics that we're talking about, what we track and trend here at LotPop, let us know. Just go to lotpop.com. Go to lotpop.com and go to hashtag first 30. I've got 1,000. This is just a couple bags of these things. I've got over 200 going out. I'm going to start sending them out next week. I've got some dealers asking for 50 of them. Go to lotpop.com, hashtag first 30, put in your information, let me know how many you want. I will send them to you at no cost. These are wristbands that say first 30 on them, help keep your team focused on increasing that fresh sale rate and getting some gross and volume going. If you need any help, again, maybe a review of your inventory, go to lotpop.com, fill out that free inventory evaluation. I hope this was helpful. Have a great weekend if I don't do one of these tomorrow.